Here's a trivia question for you guys. Leave your answer in the comment section below. If you get it right, I'll leave a heart for you. Now, what character in the 1939 classic film Wizard of Oz actually carried a gun? That's right, one of the main characters carried a gun. Who was it? Leave your answer below. CMMG Dissent Mk4. This is the 5.56. It's a 10.5-inch barrel, and it is, yes, it's a pistol. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start at the front, and we're gonna talk about some features. So right here, this is my 308 can. This is a Recoil MG4 It's a 308 can. It's a short little 6-baffle can. Let's talk about the muzzle device I have on here versus what comes with it. So what actually comes with this guy is a linear compensator. I ended up taking that off, and then I installed this guy right here. This is basically, it's a chemo muzzle brake. The big thing is I use this suppressor for all my rifles pretty much. I only have one rifle can and one pistol can, so I like to make this thing as universal as possible. Hence why I went with a 30 cal can. Basically, when you put on this chemo system on the back of this can, basically anything that, any muzzle brake, flash hider, whichever that has a chemo QD system built into it, you can just attach a suppressor to. That's why I did that brake. Not to mention this brake is extremely effective and it makes it one heck of a soft shooter. So coming back, what you have right here is you do have an adjustable gas block. So there's a little set screw in there. You can adjust it, tune it to your ammunition, tune it to suppressed only shooting, however you want to do it. I haven't made any modifications or changes to this, and it shoots amazing, both suppressed and unsuppressed already. And with the cheap bulk ammunition that I like to shoot out of it, it runs just fine. One thing you notice is this does have a side charging handle right here. So it's a non-reciprocating charging handle. You can totally use it as a thumb rest if you do like the C-clamp type hold. If you have the right attachment, you break the gun open, you lock this back, or you push charging handle back all the way, you can slide your charging handle out and pop it in on the other side if you want to do a left-hand or right-handed charging. Moving back, I'm actually going to flip it around. You'll notice one thing, the Dissent line is a taller gun. It kind of has that ACR, kind of has that SCAR type look to it, but that's because it has what's called a compact action. Basically, your entire bolt carrier group, everything, and recoil system is all housed inside the upper receiver. You don't actually have a buffer or buffer tube. So that's really nice for compact reasons. Right here, I have this folding arm brace on, so you can take this guy and just fold it back if you want, and it's convenient. You can put it in your backpack, carry it around, collapsed, whatever have you. One of the differentiating factors of this guy too is right here you have a bolt hold open, release, and you actually have a mag release, ambidextrous mag release right below it too. Release your magazine from the left or the right side. Here's the other mag release right over here. This trigger right here is a CMMG zeroed brand trigger. So basically it's a flat drop-in trigger, very light pull, very nice reset. And I'm a big fan of flat triggers. I like being able to choose where my finger goes so it doesn't just have to settle in the groove. Absolutely amazing trigger on this guy. Basically right here you have a low profile short throw selector switch, and it's ambidextrous too. So just a little click and boom, you are good to go. So trigger guard, one thing you notice, this is the CMMG's, this is the zeroed brand, zeroed trigger guard right down here. A little more room for your gloves, decent undercut over here, and you have the zeroed pistol grip on the bottom as well. So what I love about this guy is you do have a monolithic look to it also. All the way from the handguard all the way down. You can see all the lines match up. The Picatinny rails look good. So there's definitely quite a few features on this thing that set this thing apart from a standard AR-15. Obviously, it's not an AR. It's its own design. You know, it has a general lower receiver of an AR. That's about it. Everything else, I mean, between the side charging handle, the compact action, there's nothing AR about it. Except for the bolt, whereas the bolt carrier group, again, is a compact direct impingement. What's nice about this too is you don't have to shoot it. Since there's no buffer tube in the system, you can actually fire it folded over if you need to. So that's a nice feature to have. So this right up top, this is a green dot optic. This is the Viridian GDO30. I've actually put this on several different guns before. It's a really easy to use, easily mountable optic. It's got a quick It's got a quick detach system right here. So you just take that, I just slap that thing on top of a whole bunch of different guns when I want to do testing on it. So it's been a great optic. Now you'll probably notice the finish is pretty unique looking. This is actually called their, well at the time it was called the Putina finish. And I think they have to call it something different now. I don't remember why exactly, but it's cool. It's kind of like a green, brown, kind of rusty. I mean, I guess you can call it worn, but it just looks neat. And the nice thing is I live in Tennessee, so when my guns get rusty, and they do get rusty, it just kind of looks like it's supposed to be that way on this gun. What I'll do is I'm gonna just kind of go through some of the features real quick and talk about it. So starting at the barrel, you have a 1-in-7 twist. Again, you have a direct impingement compact action. The compensator that it came with is called the Zeroed brand. It's the Zeroed linear compensator. And again, I took that off, but that's the compensator that you're gonna find on pretty much all of their Dissents. So this is a 9.6-inch proprietary handguard from CMMG. So obviously it's made to fit the Dissent models, and it fits the Dissent profile for the upper receiver. Of course, since it is proprietary, I mean, you have a side charger. It's not a standard AR handguard. I will say though, it's covered in M-LOK options and it looks really good. I think it's a sexy looking handguard. And again, you do have your reversible side charger right here. So it's non-reciprocating. So that's pretty nice. Like I said, you can use it as a thumb rest if you want. You don't have to be afraid of that thing chopping you up. And again, that trigger is the Zero drop-in trigger. The gun itself, unloaded, weighs 6.8 pounds and has a total overall length of 20.4 inches, obviously without the stock. So from here to here, 20.4 inches. So one thing I will say, it's probably due to the compact action. I'm sure it also has a lot to do with the actual muzzle brake on the end. But man, this thing is a soft shooter. And when I mean soft, it stays on target. Very comfortable, very low recoiling gun. As with most 5.56, it's all pretty generally low recoil, right? But there is a certain amount of bounce you get, especially when you have the shorter barrels, like a 10.5. It's gonna be a little spicier than if you have a full 16-inch or 20-inch AR. That fires the same round. The smaller the gun, the lighter the gun, the more reaction there's going to be when you're shooting it. That's called the recoil impulse. So now the compact action, you have to think when that thing's reciprocating, that compact action is really only moving from here to here. There's not much movement, whereas in a standard AR, that bolt carrier group is riding all the way to the back of your buffer tube and then back. There's a lot more movement. Now that movement would be happening right here. So the more movement in a gun, the more you're gonna feel that recoil impulse. Since it's such a short recoil, since there's such a short movement, I think that really also helps with that recoil impulse. So reliability has been absolutely 100% flawless. Just in this video, we threw about 250 rounds downrange. Pretty rapidly too. That suppressor got pretty damn hot. I've had this gun for probably close to 8 to 9 months now. And I fired it quite a bit. I brought it to Naughty After Dark, had a whole bunch of people put some mags through it. I love bringing this gun around, not only because it looks really good, but it feels really good too. It's a good shooter. So the price, it's a little expensive. Now I do say I think it's worth the price because of the design behind this. You can't look at this like a standard AR-15 because it's not. It's CMMG's own design. Everything they've done on this is their R&D, it's their development, and there's a cost associated with that. Now, if I had to guess, you're probably looking at around 2,000 bucks for this guy. With current deals, discounts, I would average it around 2,000 bucks. What I have right here, this is the CMMG mystery box. You might have seen some other channels promoting these as well, but what CMMG did for me, for my audience specifically, is if you use code MrBigKid while you're buying anything on their site, any kind of gun from them, it doesn't have to be a Dissent, pretty much any gun, use code MrBigKid for a discount, and they'll also include one of these mystery boxes. Now, I haven't opened this yet, it's still sealed. I want it to be kind of a surprise so I can unbox it with you guys on the camera and not go through everything first. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna unbox this thing. Let's see what's inside this mystery box. This, by the way, is actually from a tack pack from the Karambit. I was pretty happy to find this thing inside there. Anyways, let's open it up. All right. Mystery box opening time. Well, as I've seen on the other mystery boxes, we have a CMMG hat. Looks like... Alright, so in this guy we got 3 magazines right here. So in this guy we got 3 magazines right here. We have the AK mag, it's a P mag, 30 rounder. You can use it for whatever. So we actually got 2 of those, 2 AK mags. The good news is these guys aren't for the AR-762, these are for AKs. So if you have an AK, if you have the new Dissent MK4 Dissent, whichever, these guys will work for you. So we got 2 of those. This is right here is a CMMG 5.7 magazine right here. Now I don't own the Dissent 5.7, but I did do a review on it, and I do really want one. If I ever end up purchasing one, I'll have an extra mag for it. Right here we have a little pack of AR detent pins. We've got an AR-15 zeroed pistol grip. This is the 22 AR mag right here. Polymer ejection port cover by the Zeroed line. Here's a $75 gift certificate for the CMMG website. You got a Boonies sticker. You got a CMMG koozie. And you have a complete MRE Southwest chicken, baby. And the last, you have a sticker right here. Now what's kind of cool is I've seen other people open these boxes and they've gotten things like hand guards. They've gotten stripped upper receivers. So there's really a variety of stuff that you can get inside these things. Buy a CMMG gun anyways. You might as well use code MrBigKid and get a free mystery box. Maybe you'll get AR parts, buttload of magazines, or whichever. There's no tooling marks that are visible. The Cerakote jobs that they do on these things are absolutely excellent. I've taken factory tours with CMMG, and they do really good. They do good work. They take a lot of care. They put a lot of care and attention into what they're doing. They test fire everything that goes out the door. One of the first things I like to do when I get an AR is change a trigger, but this one I don't feel the desire to do that with. By the way, this video is brought to you by Elite Tactical Systems, or ETS. They make these translucent magazines and speed loaders. So just this video itself, I pretty much use almost exclusively ETS mags just because I have a whole bunch of them. Speed loaders, I'm sure you guys have heard of it, mag thumb. Mag thumb is when you when your thumbs get sore from loading a bunch of rounds and magazines. With ETS speed loaders, you don't really have to ever handle the ammunition. You scoop it up out of the box and slam them right into the magazine. So they make it for all sorts of pistols, rifles, all that stuff. They have a lot of different AR mags. This one is the non-smoked version. This is the one with the tritium follower and the translucent mag. However, I will say, if you guys want to save money and not buy the smoked mag, start shooting suppressed because they will start smoking themselves. Anyways. Thank you, ETS. No more mag thumb. So overall, it's a great gun. You get what you pay for. This is not a cheap option or a budget option whatsoever. However, it's a great feeling gun, right? Now, a couple things I would change. Number one, there's no QD sling attachment points anywhere on this guy, which is a little disappointing just because I like to be able to attach my sling. I want to actually do some training and stuff, which involves transitions, all that. So slings are important. Now I know you can buy attachments and accessories so you can actually attach that stuff, but it'd be nice if the handguard maybe had a hole cut in it to mount a little QD adapter or a little QD sling attachment point, or down here in the bottom of the Picatinny rail, if they can just leave a little dot in there, a little dimple. The only thing that I really don't care for is the pistol grip itself. I'd probably change it out to something a little bit different. It's a standard AR pistol grip. This is one of their designs. So it's just plastic, nothing fancy. You can change it to whatever you want. I'd probably put something a little tackier, a little more contouring. The biggest part right here is right over here. The handguard itself kind of squares itself off a little right here. So over time, when you're holding it, especially if you don't have a sling, so you're constantly holding it at the pistol grip, you get a little rash kind of right here on your middle finger. So aside from that, everything else is great, and that's a cheap change out. In fact, my tac packs, I have, I think, 3 different pistol grips now. So I think I got what I need.